What's good, y'all? This is Weezus Talks. My man B Date right here.
What's good, y'all?
We are the official crew for Talk That Shit. Can we please ask you guys to subscribe?
Like, subscribe, comment. Yeah.
What's good, y'all? So we just seen Black Panther last week, and it was cool. Man, it was a cool movie. I guess the first question we have to answer, was it worth, the ridiculous hype? And I can say that although it was a good movie, I don't think that the hype lived up to the actual film. I felt that the concepts were beautiful. I think the concepts of an untouched African country, of basically a black Batman, of the potential of the black community when we all stick together, those concepts are great. However, I think this movie became more concepts over substance. And all the moments that I was just hearing that were so good in the movie felt really flat for me. I don't think that, I think that a couple scenes could have been changed to make the movie a little bit better. I guess we can go into depth on that later on. We talking about, just references and everything towards the movie. But I think that overall, it has some solid action. The runtime is very, very fluent. The movie doesn't really pause anywhere. You don't feel like it drags too much, but it does fall flat in some places. So overall, I did not enjoy myself. I thought it was a good movie. I thought the actors were well casted. I thought the acting itself was okay. I thought that the CG could have been better for a movie that costs $220 million to make, but I guess they made that money back in the weekend. That's black excellence right there for you. So I'm gonna give it a solid 7.9 out of 10. That's for the coaching.
All right, after seeing Black Panther and sitting on it for about a week, I've generated a score of about an 8.3-ish, somewhere in that range. Coming into it, that hype boosted it like it was supposed to be a 10, but after watching the film, I'm at about an 8 to 8.3. And let me just tell you guys why. We're gonna dive in a little bit deeper and relate this back to life. All right, just some general food for thought for you guys. There was a symbolism in the casino scene with Okoye, she was wearing red, Nikita, she was wearing green, and T'Challa was in that all black. And that's a symbol of the Pan-African flag. We're in Black History Month. And I don't know if you guys seen like any of the Black History shoes, if you guys watch basketball, but all of them are following the Pan-African flag this month. So that was one of the symbols that I picked up from. And in the final fighting scene, where you had Killmonger and his supporters going up against T'Challa and the people who stayed loyal to T'Challa, one thing I noticed was this is an accurate representation of the black community as a whole. And what I mean by that is, more times than not, instead of coming together and unifying as one and really being that powerful force we can be as a race and as a community and as a brother and as a whatever, as a neighbor, whatever. More often than not, what we do is divide. All right, and if you notice in today's society, our athletes, our comedians, the funniest entertainers, the entertainers we go pay to see, they're black, and what that tells me is people love our entertainment, people love our humor, people love to see us perform. We've been deemed as what is, normal for people to watch. You turn on your TV, you watch the NBA or the NFL, it's a predominantly black sport, right? This is what everyone pays to see, people play to watch, right? So why is it if we have all that talent and God-given ability and just natural aura about us and charisma, why can't we trickle that down into our neighborhoods, into our communities, and just stand up as one? Now, I know it's a real touchy subject for some of you guys, but I got to speak about it because it's for the culture and everything 100. So one thing I noticed, man, and it's got to stop, is the amount of potential in the black community. It gets shot down so quick as soon as that potential is recognized. And what I mean by that is, take for example, you're a 12-year-old, 13-year-old high school kid, whatever, right? You and all your homeboys been playing on the same basketball team forever. You guys all been on the same football level forever. And then you get to high school, your freshman year, one of you guys, there's 4 of y'all. One of y'all makes varsity, and the other one's on freshman. What happens most of those times? That one who made it on varsity, he gets shunned out of the group. He gets put down, he gets talked about, or a lot of times people will say, oh, you think you're better than us now because you're on this, or that. And in retrospect, it's, why don't we all just elevate ourselves to try and get where that person is at and grow as a community instead of trying to shoot that one person down? That's one problem I see too much in our community, man. Because if you look at it, the Asians, they're out here, family-owned businesses, nail shops, donuts. Not even to be, I mean, I'm just speaking real. I'm speaking what I see.
Talk that shit.
You know what I'm saying? You look at white people, they pulling up their money together and they're gonna go buy a franchise of a restaurant or a chain, and they're gonna go make money and they're gonna go make their investment back. Why can't we do that? We have just as much tools and power. If we really realized it, like, it'd be scary what we could accomplish, man. But too many times we hold ourselves back. We shoot ourselves in the foot. Shout out Plexico Bird. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to stop. And that's just some food for thought. I kind of picked up from that in that last scene of the Black Panther movie, man. And I'm not sure if that was the director's intention, but that's what I got out of it. And it's been on my mind for a minute, so I just had to speak about it, you feel me, for the culture.
So this is Talk That Shit. So it'll only be right if I go in about a little something I felt about the movie too. Okay, so I think that a lot of things were good. I thought the car chase was cool. I thought the casino scene was worth the price of admission alone. Man, I thought that that gold suit, I wish I could have tried that hoe on. That hoe was so clean. But you know what? There were things I didn't agree with. I thought the concepts were kind of off. So, man, can we explain how somehow Killmonger can just come in and just like, it feels like Wakanda's government is just built on whoever's the next guy up. So let me explain. So T'Challa clearly wins the trial to become king against M'Baku, right? And he becomes crowned the king. And so you're telling me any old Joe who got the credentials can just walk in after the ceremony has already happened and challenge somebody to be king. Not only does he win, but everybody then just blindly follows some tyrant. Like, I don't understand that. I feel like if the Wakandans were as loyal to the country as they said they were, then there should have been some scenes where people stood up. Like, I felt like it would have been key in the scene where Michael B. Jordan gets the powers to become the powers of the Black Panther, that somebody should have stood up, and because they were so loyal to Wakanda, they weren't going to burn it. He could have killed them off, and that would have built on his character as well. I think that the substance just could have been a little bit there. I mean, I think as a whole, like, we're looking for our next Barack Obama, like our next big thing to look at and hope for. And I'm glad that, I think this movie was made more for kids to look at themselves in a different light, especially African American kids to look at themselves in a different light. And for kids who are not of African American descent to understand that there's other greatness out there besides themselves, that we as a whole are progressive humans, regardless of what skin color or what race or nationality you hail. Overall, I think that we enjoyed ourselves, but I think that the concepts ruled over the actual substance.
Talk that shit about it, boy.